can name Lucius. Just you don't really see a white guy named Lucius too often.
Shit, that's about it. And get the whole production right there on Instagram, I think. Maybe if I turn it to the scissor.
Yeah. You don't hear a white guy named Lucius. But you know, that's all good, you know.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I like it. Lucius. Yeah, it's tight. This is some lemon kush right here, you guys.
Some of that lemon.
This shit is all I thought. This shit is the bomb right here, man. Oh my God, it's just man. It is the bomb. Huh?
What's your weed? What's your personal weed brand?
Well, starting the 2OG Smoking Weed brand.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2OG Smoking Weed. Then there'll be strains within the brand.
So we're setting up our production right now. We just film it. We're going live we're going on the radio.
We
tape a radio show. And so while we do that, we actually are being recorded for YouTube.
And then as we expand, you know, we'll go into California and all those kind of places eventually.
I will definitely pick up some of your weed.
Oh, appreciate it, man.
Better.
But Lucius, when it comes out, we're gonna have to let you hook you up on something so you can tell everybody.
Absolutely.
You know, you ready, Hakeem?
Nothing.
You ready?
I think so.
Okay, we ready, Lucius.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Hey, what's happening, you guys?
What's up?
And welcome to 2OG Smoking Weed. It's your boy Budmargins.
Mrgoodkush89, love smoke, baby.
Yeah, check this out. So today, what we're gonna do? Well, first of all, we got a special guest on our show again. We got Mr. OG Willie on our set again with us today. And so we just want to let you guys know we're gonna be hearing from him and stuff like that. I think he's gonna have some pretty good insight that maybe we won't have when it comes to some of these issues that we're gonna be talking about in the second half of the show. Okay. So on the first half of the show, though, what we're gonna do? We're gonna go back and we're gonna start the Tim Goodman story again, and we're gonna start off right after high school when he is his freshman year in college. Okay, so he's gonna let you know exactly. And the reason is I want you guys to pay attention to this is because it really is all about the exploitation of these phenomenal black athletes out here and how a lot of them, you know, don't get what they're supposed to get because of not being done the right way. It's not being done the right way. And so there are a lot of pressures, a lot of things that occur in their life because of, first of all, the adorning, putting up on the pedestal, right? Then when you get up there, there's got to be something to support that. If there's nothing to support that, then a lot of those people just fall under and they do things that they're not supposed to do because they're trying to keep up with the Joneses and all that. So that's what this story is supposed to be about, okay? So I want you to listen to this, and I want the people out there listening to really understand that this is about how really there are a whole bunch of these American tragedies out here because, the system really let these athletes and let these people down, let us as African Americans down because they do it mostly to African Americans. And so, I want you to pay closely attention to the discussion that we're having today.
Pay closely attention.
Yeah. Some people pay a little attention, but pay close attention, baby. I want you to be close. Just closely. But I want you to be like this. You're real close. So, okay. So, now we're just gonna start off. So okay, now we're gonna. So tell us, what college did you go to again?
I got a full ride scholarship to University of North Carolina, Charlotte.
Okay, so University of North Carolina, Charlotte. That's not University of North Carolina. That's University of North Carolina, Charlotte, in Charlotte, North Carolina, right?
Yes, it's in Charlotte, North Carolina. University of North Carolina is in where are the Tar Heels at? I forget, but I know Duke is in Durham.
Yeah.
And then Carolina, I think, is in, I want to say Raleigh or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember at this moment.
So tell us about your freshman year. Like what kind of classes they had you enrolled in there?
I took your core classes, your basic psych, one-on-one, and stuff like that, and basic classes. But my electives I actually chose was a classical music class, and I chose a Black History course. Those are my electives.
Okay. And then, so on average, as an athlete, how many hours were you kind of allotted for like studying and all that kind of stuff?
Well, you practice, let's see, your average school day is, like on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, there's certain classes you go to, and on Tuesdays and Thursdays, there's classes you go to, right? So it's kind of split up like that. So you go to class, you're usually done with class by, I want to say like maybe noonish or something, sometimes 11, depending on how early you start, noonish, between that 11 and 1. But then you've got lunch, and if you got a little time to sit around, kick around. But we're usually in the gym practice at like 2:30 for basketball. This is basketball
From 2:30 to what?
2:30 to 4:30. It's 2-hour practices. 2:30, 4:30, 5 o'clock, right there.
Okay.
And then you get out, and then you have chow, and then you have study hall for an hour. So mandatory as far as team-wise, your study hall's an hour.
So you had 5 hours of study hall a week, and you had basically 10 to 12 hours of practice a week.
Yeah.
So you had like basically double the amount of time practice than you did this time for studying.
Yeah.
So take us into your freshman year and all the great things that you got to do and all the great people you got to meet as a freshman. Because you guys gotta understand he's a high school All-American, okay? So you guys gotta understand that he's playing at a high level.
My freshman year, you said?
Yeah.
Academically or
On the court.
on the court?
Yeah, your experience as being there in college, being an athlete, playing sports, the people you got to meet. And all
It was
that.
pretty cool for me because I think back then I came to UNC Charlotte with a lot of hype. So that was pretty cool to have people already know who you were the moment you walked on campus, to have people already calling your name, you know what I'm saying, when you're moving into your on-campus apartment. People are coming by and going, hey, Tim Goodman, all the way, yeah, we're glad to have you, whoop de whoop. Hey, man, you gonna take us there? You gonna get us there? That type of stuff is pretty cool. You like the attention and the accolades and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just another level. The athletes are on another level, because just like you were the man at your school or whatever, for the most part, they were good enough to get a scholarship. So, you know what I mean? Not everybody, of course, not all of them are top 100 or All-Americans, but still, you don't have to be an All-American or top 100 to get a Division I scholarship. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah. Well,
there's levels.
how about your coach? How was he? What's his name?
Coach Jeff Mullins was my coach. He
No related to Chris.
Yeah, no relation to Chris. he played at Duke in college. Got an NCAA title at Duke. I think it was like 65. He was there at Duke or something like that. But he played 12 years in the NBA. I think he was a 5-time NBA All-Star. And he's like 6'5", 6'6". And he's a swingman. So, and that's, why he really took a liking to me and basically my skill set as a swingman and my, being able to shoot, dribble, the things I could do as a player. So Coach Mullins was...
At 6'8".
Coach Mullins was, he really taught that triple threat game. That you see Mike have and break you down from the triple threat, post position, spin moves, pivot moves. Coach Mullins was big on that. And so I learned a lot from him.
Well, speaking of Mike, we know that as a freshman, you got to spend some time with Michael Jordan. Tell us about that.
You know, he came up to the school and talked to the coaches and stuff. They had him up in the office before he came down to the court. And he found out who I was. Like, I was there, you know, I was a high-priced recruit. They were calling me the best player to come there since Cedric Cornbread Maxwell. So I was a high-priced recruit. So, of course,
Boston Celtics.
Of course, Jordan knew about that guy, you know, and he was up. So when he came down to the court, he asked, you know, we were going to play full court. And he just basically divvied up the teams and just said, you know, we're going to start off, me and Tim are on separate teams. I'm guarding Tim, Tim's guarding me. We're going to pick teams around that. And then went from there. So that was a pretty good experience, you know. Then he laughed about my shoes because I think at that time, Charlotte, we were sponsored by Reebok. So Jordan was, you know, he had his Jordans out and stuff like that. And so he was like, man, they make you wear those? And I was like, man. That's what he said to me in the locker room afterwards and stuff. He was real cool.
What about the playing though, man? Tell us about, you know, the actual, you guys run up and down the court playing.
Run up and down the court playing.
Talking.
You know, he talked a lot of shit to me. You know, I was a young kid coming out of Chief Self High School from Seattle, Washington. I'm 18 years old.
Shout out Chief Self.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm going up against Michael Jordan. I mean, hey, you know what I mean? I'm going up against Mike, who's like in his, I don't know, 4th or 5th year, 3rd year, 4th year in the league, some 3rd year.
Oh, so he's a youngin'.
Yeah, he's a youngin', that fresh, you know, rejuvenated, high-flying, taking off Mike.
Shit.
So he talked a lot of crap to me, dunked on me a few times. I did score a few buckets on him. And
I'm not gonna lie, if somebody dunked on me, I wouldn't admit it. But if Mike did, I might say something. I might
you know,
say, yeah, he dunked on
I
me.
got you know, he dunked on me like twice, and I got like free gear afterwards and stuff from him.
Oh, it was worth it then. Shit, I think that though.
Mike Jordan just caught a 450-pound marlin.
God damn! That
Yes, he
motherfucker.
did.
That motherfucker paid for somebody to catch that for him. He didn't
No, he was on the boat, man. I saw this,
I
brother.
got you. I'm just fucking with you. I'm saying he got so much money he could pay somebody. He paid the Marlin to get on the hook.
Yeah, real.
Oh man.
Oh, boy.
You still there?
But that's funny. That's funny. But that was not the biggest one.
Oh man. No, I'd love to do that. So you got to play with Michael Jordan and things like that. So then, how about, okay, so then the season starts and...
Season starts. Our first game is against Clemson. At that time, they had 2 NBA first rounders. They had Dale Davis and Eldon Campbell on their team. And I think they went to the Sweet 16 that year or something like that.
Wow.
But, our first game was against Clemson, and I had like, I don't know, I think like 13 points, like 4 rebounds, a block, a couple steals, a couple assists. I had like good stat line for the first game as a freshman, your first actual college game, and I was like right in the frying pan, you know. And I remember one of the assistant coaches saying to me, "You're gonna be all right, Goodman. You're gonna be all right," like that.
Right. And so you're playing and, you know, doing good on the court. But how's the academic side going?
Well, that's where it gets rocky for my day, where it got tough for me. Is, I was diagnosed with a learning disability when I was in high school. And a lot of people don't know, but, you know, back then, like, I was supposed to be taking one of these, you know, not but special ed classes. But I had a goal.
Remedial classes?
Remedial class. I had a goal to go to college. And so I asked my counselor, I have to take it there to answer that question. I asked my counselor, could I go to college with taking these classes? Because I noticed they were a little different from everybody else, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he said, nah, he wouldn't be able to go to. I was like, oh, you got to get me out of there. You know, I don't give a damn what the chart said. You got to get me out of there.
Yeah.
And that's when
advocate for yourself.
I had to advocate, and then that's when it turned around for me. And so when I got to college, though, college was another level of studying, and I was the type of person that needed to hear the book as well as read it. I have to hear it and read it at the same time, and then I can start to grasp. And I have to do that a couple times. Like I can't just do that once and be like, oh yeah, and I'm ready to tell you. I have to hear it.
But
like
just to give you the heads up, most people are like that.
Right?
Well, yeah, most people have to read it, hear it, and write it.
Yeah.
Those are the three things that it takes to really remember something.
Yeah.
So, and like for me, I mean, I have to do it a couple of times to really remember it. It ain't
And
like.
here's where the key comes in on text and stuff like that. So, our producer's telling us we're halfway through the show, so we want to say shout out to Rainier Avenue Radio World.
Mobility
and
TV.
Mobility TV.
Baby.
Love smoke, baby. Love smoke.
2OG smoking with your boy Budmargins.
Mrgoodkush89 telling you my story of my my real life.
I don't think it's
Tim
all.
Goodman
I don't
story.
think it's all
Tim
about
Goodman.
that. I think it's about a lot of marketing, because when you come into the music business, your actors or actresses, you want to do broadcasting. I mean, marketing, production, magazines, books. I mean, you really have to sell yourself. Nowadays, you do.
Well, you do.
You
do.
You really do. And, you know, for me, wow, for me, it's just, for right now, it's pretty easy peasy. It is. Because this bullshit that's going on, I'm just going to sit back and wait.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
we could sure record our music here in your studio, make your tapes, cassettes, whatever, and CDs, whatever, and wait, because nobody's going to get on stage right now.
They're trying though. I guess
They are trying. They are trying.
So check this out though, real quick.
They are trying.
Okay, so Tim, we're gonna go back to you and now we're balancing the sports and the academics. Okay, so this is the part where I want people to pay attention to. Okay, so go ahead and continue with that.
So, so I had to diagnose learning disability. So when I got to Charlotte, it's another level. Academically, of course, college is it's another level. And,
Totally.
Yeah, and they're pretty they're up there. They're not at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to academics as far as the university is concerned. University of Charlotte is up there.
So high school didn't basically get you ready.
It didn't, and it's not. I'm not, because I don't want to throw anybody. I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus or
University
anything like
of Washington is saying that they're not going to accept the ACT or the SAT anymore because that discriminates against everybody.
They shouldn't have that anymore, and I'm glad they cut that out because okay, so now you're in the academics with the sports. The academic parts are harder than it was.
Hold on.
One more thing.
Okay,
We're on the radio show. Hold on.
College athletes are making an income for playing ball right now.
Well, it's not that they're making an income. If you use their likeness for any type of media, television, anything like that, that's where they get paid. They don't get paid just because they're playing. They don't do that. They now can make money for their likeness as a college athlete.
I have to beg to differ.
Well, I read it, so I'm just telling you. Go ahead and tell me the difference, because I read it.
They are getting paid
For their likeness, so yeah, but not all
playing
athletes.
Ball.
Well, okay, I'm not even going to argue about that because you're right on that level. You know that, but that's a different show.
All right.
That's a different show. I got you.
Brother.
Okay, so
Shut up now.
we back
Throw
with
away
Tim.
the key. There
So
you go.
speaking of getting paid, did you get paid in college?
I received some benefits. You know, I'm not one of those guys that, you know, in telling my story where I'm gonna,
I see that.
even though I'm gonna give it to you as real as possible, but I'm not gonna throw anybody or anything.
I'm just asking the questions. Did you get paid?
So
We want to know, did he get paid?
you know, I received
Blue chip.
I received some things.
Like what? Just tell us, man. I mean, that was 30-something years ago.
Yeah, but they'll go back.
No,
You know
they
what I
won't
mean?
go back.
Yes, they will. It's the NCAA.
What they gonna do? What they gonna go back and do?
Yeah, you gotta read. You say you
I know,
read.
but what they gonna go back and do?
You
to
already know what they'll go back and do.
Not to you.
Well, but still, I still care about.
That dude's dead.
You know what I mean? I can't do that.
Okay, so either way it goes, you guys, they was kicking up funds 30 years ago at the University of North Carolina, Charlotte. Okay, so.
And so even with my
You
situation,
heard it first on 2OG smoking weed.
I love smoke, baby. With my situation as far as like academics and stuff, so I struggled there in college, and that's what took me off the floor.
Right.
And at that time, there's no social media and stuff, and if you're not on the stage, you know what I mean, like they can kind of quickly forget about you and go like next man up.
But like, how many people do you think? I mean, on average, around the country, how many African American brothers were promised this dream and just really weren't prepared for that, and didn't really, and that's why they didn't fulfill their dreams? I mean, just take a
If
guess.
I didn't have to go to college and I could have
Right.
went straight to the league, I would have been better off because I'd have been able to go straight to the league. Now, I'm not saying I'd have been a lottery pick, but I'd have got drafted in one of the rounds. Simply because in high school, all I did was play with the pros out at the pro club, and a lot of the agents and a lot of the NBA people were there. And they used to call me a rook in high school.
Right.
NBA players used to say, he's good enough to be a rook right now. He used to be catching lobs and all. I used to be that's just love hooping, you know? So, but the thing that messed me up is that I had to go to college.
Right. And how many years were you there?
I was at UNC Charlotte almost 2 years. I transferred in the middle of the year.
Where'd you transfer to?
I transferred to University of, West Palm Beach Junior College, where I finished up some courses there. And then that next season, I transferred to University of South Alabama.
Okay. So after you finished college playing basketball, take us from there. Like, I'm sure you got a family and, you had your girl.
Man, after I finished playing college basketball, I was really down about what had taken place in my college career because I knew it should have been better. It should have went better, and I was really like taken aback by the system. And I'm like, man, I'm trying to learn all this shit that don't have nothing to fucking do with me, and or what I want to, and it was just like it was tough for me. So I was kind of a little regretful about that.
Angry over it.
Yeah, because it took some of my fire, away. And when I say fire, I mean you strike while the iron is hot.
Yeah.
And so I was a little resentful about it, but so nonetheless, I had to go. That's why I was going to write a book called Between the Cracks, because I had to fall back down, as you go from being up here amongst the creme de la creme. Now, just because of a certain situation, not because of your actual basketball talent, but because of a certain situation in the day and age that you live in,
And when you think about it, that cost you $100 million or more.
takes you down between the cracks.
Because in 1989, when you think about it, by the time you would have got in, it would have been 1992. You would have been in there when they first started making that big $4 or $5 million a year money, and $10 million a year money. Because what John Kunkak signed for, something crazy like that.
Come on, man.
And so you've been in there with that big money, and because the system, I call it a rigged system for a lot of people, especially African Americans, because I knew some white cats that made it. But they weren't good at sports, but they weren't good in academics, but they allowed them to pass through because they were white. And I'm not going to go into it. That's another story.
Right.
But I'm just trying to,
Got it.
kind of, let you guys see how, in high school, when you have a talent, that talent depends on you to make sure that you get them ready for that next level, not just in sports where they're going chanting your name, but in the classroom too. And so again, those are to me though, I call those setups right there. I call them setups. They're setups.
Yeah.
So then you go into.
I went to the CBA and tried out.
What is the CBA?
Continental Basketball Association. Back then, there was no NBDL or UB.
Gatorade League. Or G
and all that
League.
kind of stuff. G League and all that kind of stuff. It was the CBA, which was like the barnyard, like going on the Chitlin circuit in the music
Oh
industry.
shit!
You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. It's like going. That's the basic description. The CBA is like going on the Chitlin circuit in the music industry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're playing Omaha, Nebraska. Yeah, you're in Yakima. You're in.
Hey, I'm from there.
Well, I'm saying you're not in the major cities. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you're traveling by bus. most of the time. You know, you're not as far cry from NBA and chartered flights and private jets. You know what I'm saying? And you're not making that much, and you're just
Fancy girl.
and everybody out there's trying to get that look.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People are, you know, you
A
gotta
lot
find
harder
a way.
route to take.
Yeah, it's a lot harder route to take. And shout out to Mrgoodkush89, you know, who made it, you know, from the CBA that route. But then I went overseas and I played in South America, and I played in Chile.
Oh, that'd be nice.
In the city of Concepcion, and I enjoyed it down there. And then I came back, but I still had that fire to play it, you know, in the league. I mean, I knew I could play in the league. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew I could play. Just from, you know, I had that confidence from always going against the guys and working out with them all the time.
Right.
So it was like, I could play. Knew I could play. Too many people validated that. So I was just like, kept trying, you know. Then I got into my little situation, and then that derailed me. I got in my situation with the marijuana, and then that derailed me.
Well, what happened with the marijuana? So we got like how many minutes? We got a couple minutes, so we're gonna try to go over this real slow. And we, on our second part, we'll come back, just finish it up, and then we'll go into our Gorilla in the Room segment. So go ahead, finish it up.
Well, I was actually, to make a long story short, is I came across an opportunity to make some side money on the side of basketball, some good money, you know, to help you live that life. You know what I'm saying? Help you, you know, live that life. You know what I'm saying? So I took it, and I got caught in Houston on my way to Boston and Providence, Rhode Island with it, and I got caught with some marijuana.
How much marijuana?
I got caught with 20 pounds.
Yeah, okay, you got caught with some marijuana. That's a lot of marijuana to be caught with.
Well, I normally have like 80.
Damn. How'd you get caught with it?
There was an officer that was tipped off. He basically profiled me. I normally would fly. Back then, it was a lot different than what it is now. So I normally would fly like with the suit, you know, business attire, you know, just, you know, at my size, no one's questioning anything.
Yeah.
But this particular day, I had on a chain. I had this chain on, some leather coat, my hat on backwards. I looked, you know, and so an officer just said, you know, signaled ahead and said, I just think you guys should check his luggage.
Flagged you.
Flagged him. And then, so when I got to Houston in the layover, there was a dog named Licorice who sniffed my luggage.
Was it black or red?
And that's how I got caught.
Okay. Okay. We're looking at our producer, what we're looking at as far as time. Lucius. How are we on time? 1 minute? Okay. So we got 1 minute left.
Those that are listening, it's still different. So, you know, we're doing our radio show now, our podcast. We're doing it by Zoom. So normally we're in the studio and we're able to see and know how much time we have. So everything is a little different now. We're doing it all by, you know.
So okay, you guys, we want to shout out to Rainier Avenue Radio.
Shout out to Rainier Avenue Radio. Love smoke, Rainier Avenue Radio.
We want to shout out Mobility TV.
Love smoke, love smoke.
And we also want to shout out 2OGSSMOKINWEED. You can find us on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Y'all, it's your boy Budmargins.
Mrgoodkush89. Love smoke to that one.
And you know what I say, you guys? Smoke weed every day. And at the end of the day, you guys, blow that shit the fuck out.
That's right.
Peace, and we'll see you in a minute.
Love smoke.
All right. Break time. That was awesome. Well, I said I'm gonna have to start coming earlier so we can have this shit set up so we can do it. You know?
I was supposed to be here at 6:30.
But no, not shit, Tim. I'm not talking about you.
I think that went pretty well.
Tim,
Cool.
I have to be
what's
working
up?
for
I need mines after this.
Cool.
There was one
Tom, Tim.
like
I need mines after
period
this.
of time that you were
Cause I need
signal
one.
went out.
So I want to start off. I'll take one.
Okay, no problem.
Well, I don't know what game that was, and we just came out a minute.
Give us about 1 second. I'm gonna run to the bathroom. I'll be right
What
back.
game was that?
Okay, cool.
Which one?
When you came down the middle, and you was like, yeah, I think it's my like the front, the first one. It's self.
Is that show?
That's crazy. The gym don't even look like that no more.
No. It's still got the baby blue.
We can go in there, and I can walk around.
The baby blue's still there.
Mm-hmm.
Then that was my idea, because it used to be red.
Oh, that was you?
Yeah, that was me.
Bro, I'm a custodian.
I know. What'd you say? I'm trying to say.
We can go in there, and I can film you. You can be like, yeah, I remember this, and I can do all that type of shit for you.
Okay, let's do it. When you want to do it?
Whenever you want to do it, it's up to you, Tim.
I can. No, it's not. It's actually up to you because
Okay,
I'm
okay.
free every day. I'm free every day after 8:30 in the morning, after 9 o'clock in the morning, every day.
Okay, we're gonna get it.
Because I'm off work.
So I need to talk to the guys up there at Chiefs.
Just
When
let me
my
know when to
homeboy
come,
Monty
yeah.
is on there. I go like, bro, I need to film something real quick. Let me do this real quick.
Yeah.
Cause you know what I mean. You gotta some motherfuckers be acting funny and shit. So you gotta pick the one. But yeah, man, let me do some shit, man.
Yeah.
You know, when you want to do a deep, in-depth one, I'll be trying to.
Can you put together like a highlight tape with some music behind it and shit?
I can do all the man. I can do that
Put
shit,
it up
bro.
for me, man. I'll take care of you.
No, you don't gotta take care of me, bro. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to practice right now. When listen, when my website get up, and you be like, "Hi, I'm lit. I'm charging you $100 an hour." Like, oh, this nigga famous now. Hey, what's up? Oh, this Tim. Cool, Tim. Talk to my man. Talk to my secretary. You know,
off our 2OG Smoking Weed brand.
Hey, that's fucked up, bro.
Okay.
Hey, you know, that's when the person get up like, man. First of all, I know you. I don't need to talk to your secretary or somebody else. I should go. Oh, sorry about that. I should go straight to you. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Man, so you know, let's cut the funniness out, man. You know what I mean?
I'm back, man. I'm down whenever you ready, man. Yeah, I think one of those I caught at Tip Slam was against West Seattle. I came down and caught one.
That's when they had garbage cans on the team.
Yeah, it was tomato can team.
Tomato can.
Bust them up.
Bro, you better make 40 in this game. How many more minutes we got?
Okay.
We working with?
We
How
down.
many seconds?
We got 30
Another 30 minutes.
We got 30 minutes.
Okay, I'm saying can you guys give me a heads up when I can push the button?
Yeah, we'll give you a heads up.
Okay.
That's the marijuana coffee, guys. That's the marijuana coffee.
No. Oh. Let me put my mask on. Quarantine.
Okay. So,
Quarantine.
I like it, Jack. Quarantine.
you ready?
Just 1 second. I'm having an issue with the computer, but
Exactly. I'm having issues.
Okay, no problem.
I don't like getting loaded when I'm doing my work, though.
You guys want to buy? We got coffee cups, shirts, come in black, white, coffee cups, black. You know what I'm saying? Whiskey. This kid.
2OGs Smoking Weed Whiskey coming to you real soon. Hey, we're going to do it all across the board. Once we get one thing to take,
Go ahead, some
we're
of
going
that
to do it all
wine.
across
What'd
the
you say?
board.
okay, I'm ready now. Ready?
Okay. Ready? Okay.
2OG Smoking Whiskey.
2, 1.
Welcome back to 2OG Smoking Weed, part 2. It's your boy Budmargins.
Mrgoodkush89, love smoke, baby.
All right, you guys, and so we back. We're gonna continue with the Tim Goodman story, and where he left off, where Mr. Goodman was talking about how he kind of got trapped and into the cycle of wanting to make that big money fast, you know. And so we're gonna go into that real quick. Okay, so what I want to know is like,
quick.
so what is the thinking? So you want to? I know that you want to be in the NBA, and you know that you have this opportunity, right? And so you understand that there's a consequence if you get busted, right? And so you have to weigh that out, right? Don't you weigh that out with yourself when you make that decision?
You do. Shit, it's just like when you want to diet. There's a consequence to eating that fucking donut, but you still eat it.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? You know it's
But
not-
one has to, you know, you have to look at the weight of one
I
versus
mean, yeah. I mean, but at the same time, you know.
because this is what I say. Let's say somebody that just had no opportunities and they didn't have the chance to, you know, they never had an opportunity, or, you know, I could see them doing that. But somebody who's this close to making it, I want to know what is the thought process behind you to take that chance? Because you ain't the only one. I mean, we see it all the time. We see these cats getting busted with 125 pounds of marijuana and shit.
You're close, but you're far. Because you get pushed back to the back of the pack. You know what I mean? Regardless of, it was like, you're close, but you're far. I mean, shit, you're playing overseas. You know what I'm saying? It's not like scouts, they're not sending scouts overseas like that. You know,
At least
to watch
not in
them play.
89 or
Not in 89,
93.
not in the 90s. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this is like the mid 90s. And so, you know, you're close, but you're far. So the only time the league is going to see you is during the summer. You know what I mean? You'll be playing in a summer league, a Long Beach Summer League, Pro Summer League or something, or one of the teams are interested in you, heard about you, and then you get on with one of the teams for the summer league.
Right.
So that's what, you know, and then you're with guys that maybe did make it.
Well, shit, tell
guys-
I mean, you were with Jamal Crawford, Terry, Jason Terry, and all them cats, right?
Right. You're with guys that, you know, those guys are after me, but you're with guys like my time was Doug Christie.
Oh, there
You
we
know-
go. Doug Christie.
You know, but still, you're like,
Mug.
as far as like the guys that I played against across the country, I played against a lot of the guys in the top 100. You know what I mean? The Shaquille O'Neals, back then, the Jim Jacksons, the Kenny Andersons, you know, all these guys, right?
Oh, Kenny Anderson? Oh
So-
my God.
So,
That was it. That dude was the shit.
but you know where your talent level is at, right? And so,
Yeah.
you know, I used to work out with Kemp and Xavier McDaniel and Detlef Shrimp, you know what I'm saying? And Sadell 3 and Avery Johnson, you know what I'm saying? And Nate McMillan. I used to work out with these guys and Derek McKee. You know, I'm talking about, daily workouts. So you know that you're there and you see everybody playing and making this money and living, and it just I can speak for me, something inside me was just like, I can do this and nobody would know, you know what I'm saying? And I could get that, I want that cheese, I want that life. I like it when I'm hanging out with them and it's, you know what I'm saying? And it's like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like when I'm having that money and I make it like that for other people. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it you know, somewhat, I guess some of it you could be considered greed, I guess. You know, you're young, you know what I mean? Maybe it is. But it's also from being coddled, you know what I mean? And told, you know, and you know you should be a certain place and you're not. You know
It's
what I mean?
almost like a setup, right?
Yeah. So,
Because to me, it's like a setup. You
I don't
know,
know if it's-
you
I don't
spend your whole life trying to achieve a dream, and because of ultimately because you couldn't meet a certain standard that they set for those they thought had to meet if you were worthy of playing in their league. You had to meet a certain standard, which was academics in college. I mean, if you're good enough to do a job, what the fuck you need college for?
you know, back then they wanted that story behind you. You know, that all-American story. High
You
school,
had that.
college, you had to have it. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And then, so if you didn't have that story, that's why you didn't hear about guys going straight to the league, because the money part of it, that part of it wasn't.
Well, they did. You know, they did. But
Well,
not
Moses
that
Malone.
much. Yeah.
I mean, come on, that's,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
But-
That was it. You, even
Back then, it wasn't like
even one of the best player ever to play, probably Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, went to the school and had a storied career.
For 4
You know what I'm
years.
saying? For 4 years, 4 titles. I mean, so they wanted that. So there wasn't going to be no, he comes straight out of high school, come from Beacon Hill or High Point, whatever, straight to the league.
So-
you know what I mean? No, they weren't doing that yet.
Right. So what they do is they build you up on this pedestal, you know, and again they do put you on there when they make you an All-American, McDonald's All-American. They're putting you up on the highest pedestal that you can be put up on in basketball in high school, right? So when they put you up on that pedestal, and they put, believe me, I'm sure there was about, out of that team that played that year, I guarantee you only very few probably went to the NBA, because there were a lot of young African American brothers that this is how they fall off, because they make this, you know, they make this a point. And that's what I want you guys to understand. That's why I thought this podcast was important for people to hear, because I want people to understand that, you know, there's a lot of things that go into these athletes and what make them decide to make decisions, whether they're good or bad decisions. There's a lot of pressure that's put on them, and people have to understand, like, you know, it started because we were talking about this guy that freaking had 125 pounds of weed in his car and he's playing in NFL. You know, like, what the fuck do you need to do that for, right?
There was a couple guys. There was a running back, Morris from Pittsburgh, and then you got from Cowboys.
Yeah.
There's a few guys. I mean, you know.
So I said, let me talk with Tim about it, because why? Because he's a high athlete, top
Why
athlete.
would he even want to do that?
So you have to, and so I said, yeah.
And it can't be because of the money. Is it
Everybody has their own
because of
demons and
the
their own
real-
reasons for everything that they do.
I
You know what I mean?
understand
Like,
that.
Yeah, because Tim didn't come from no hood.
you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm
Tim
not.
had two
from the hood.
parents.
Yeah.
He went to church.
The
Played
difference
the
is
drums.
if you get 100 million, You think I'm touch some smoke to fuck that shit? But if you get 150K and you see your homeboys doing their thing, you like,
Right,
oh man, I'm
right.
and they buying all
Right,
this stuff,
right.
and you can be that guy.
Right. So that's basically what he's saying
Distributed,
is that you know his salary wasn't the same salary, and he wanted to run with the Joneses because of the pressures. You know, when you go home, everybody.
I should be there.
Right.
And I know I should be
And
there.
he gets there and he gets caught, and now look where he is.
Right. And then you get caught,
Shit.
and then what happens?
Fuck up your family, your kids, if you have any. NFL career, you fuck everything up.
I'm asking your point of
I
view in
mean-
a second. Okay, Tim, tell me from that point on, what you know. So you got busted. You know, and it changed the course of your direction.
Yeah, and then when I got busted, it did change the course. I took probation, and then so I could get out right away. But I didn't know the law. If I had actually, I don't know, something, if I had played, because I was first time offender, I could have just done like 20-something days or something and been out and had not none on my record or nothing.
Right.
But I'd never been in trouble before, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Never been through the system. One hour, you know what I'm saying, was too.
Yeah.
1 hour was too much.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? you know, you young. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. My life was hooping, and you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
school, and you know that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So that 1 hour would have been too much. So to be in there, I was like, man, what's the quickest way I can get out of here today? You know, the attorney was like, I take probation. I took probation. Everybody.
Okay.
And I didn't want anybody to know about it. You know what I mean? So I took probation, and I was on probation. You know, I left to go overseas and one time to go play. And when I came back, I was violated, even though they said that they were gonna have California
He
probation.
wasn't violated. He violated.
I violated, yeah.
Yeah.
Even though they said they were gonna have California probation check in with me, you know, to let me know where to be going and all that type of stuff. It didn't have, you know, I just was really green, and I was just like doing my thing, you know, and I was just like, as long as I don't get no more trouble, I guess I'm straight, you know what I mean? Like, they haven't called yet, you know, whatever, I gotta go. So when I got back, I had a blue warrant out for my arrest, but when I got back, I'd actually sat down and got to talk to Jerry West at the Forum, and the Lakers were interested in signing me as a free agent. See, because this thing works in the brotherhood also, because see, Coach Mullins played at Duke, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, and he played in the league, and Jerry West, you know, there's a trust factor there. Oh, this is Coach Mullins is, oh God, this is the you know, top 100 kid. This was the blue chip kid. You know what I mean? Like, so you get that look just based on that alone. You know what I'm saying? So, Coach Mr. West was like, you know, I'm gonna have your agent, you know, we're gonna draw up some things, and we want to probably have you in camp. We probably have you in the camp, right? This is when they had Shaq, and I'm a shooter, so they wanted
Shaq and Kobe.
This is when they had Shaq first.
No,
When they
Kobe
first were
was-
signing Shaq.
Kobe was there first. Kobe was there. Then
You talking about the era of Shaq?
I'm talking about
Lakers.
I'm talking about when Shaq first went to the. Shaq was there first. When Shaq first went to the Lakers from Orlando.
Okay.
No, Kobe was there first.
Breon, I'm no sportsman.
Okay, I did too,
I
but
think
all right.
Kobe was there first, bro.
Kobe was not there. Kobe came.
After or as a draft?
Kobe came after Shaq was there. You guys.
Okay.
That's how they knew they wanted to get Kobe to pair him up with Shaq.
Okay.
I don't even mess
I'll
with the
tell
Lakers.
you. Hopefully, you know, basketball buffs are
Come on,
watching
man.
this, 'cause I'm telling
Don't
you,
mistake, right?
I'm gonna tell you
Don't
right now
mistake.
that Kobe was there first. Because
Yeah,
he was
turn it
playing
away,
with
bro.
that white haired dude.
Who?
But it's all good. You know,
Okay, so when did Shaq leave Orlando? Look it up. He has the phone.
So anyway,
Because Shaq was there when Eldon Campbell started backing up Shaq. And then they drafted Kobe because Eddie Jones was the starting guard with Shaquille O'Neal there. And then they drafted Kobe, and then Eddie Jones was feeling for a spot because Dale Harris was the actual coach. And then
Yeah, the
Kobe's
white-haired
hold
dude,
on,
Dale
and
Harris.
and in Kobe's rookie year, Kobe was only getting sometimes 15 minutes a game. And Shaq was out hurt. Shaq had gotten hurt. I remember because I just watched the other day. I just watched Orlando with
That's
Penny
all.
versus the Lakers, and
That's
Shaq didn't play in that game for the Lakers because he was hurt.
That's how Kobe got into the game full time.
Yeah. Come on, man.
I mean, I know Eddie Jones was on the
96.
team.
Who?
96.
Shaq was there in 96?
Yeah.
And then when did Kobe come? Got drafted in
Hold on.
96. He's class of 96.
You still.
They traded for Shaq first, then they drafted Kobe.
But he was there at the same time that you.
Oh,
No,
were
you
there.
said Kobe was there before Shaq.
Okay, I'm gonna hold on.
Well, I was saying that when you was there, if you was there with Shaq, that Kobe was there at the same time.
You said, hold on, I'm loaded, though, so you gotta give me a second.
Because Kobe was there at the same time as the son I meant. He just
Oh, now you
he just
switch it up. Kobe
he
was
just
there at the same time. That's all I meant. No, you were precisely adamant with energy
I did say
that
that.
Kobe was there before Shaq.
I
And
did
I'm
say
telling
that,
you, Kobe
but-
was not
but-
with the Lakers before Shaq.
Okay, he may not have been there, but when Shaq was there, Kobe was there.
Well, we already know that.
No, I'm
The
talking about at the
point
same
was-
time. Shaq was never there without Kobe, is what I'm trying to say.
No,
Shaq
no,
was-
now you switching it up.
No, I'm not.
When did he go to the Lakers, or when he?
Huh?
When did he go to the Lakers?
When did he get drafted by the Lakers?
96 too.
Right. So Shaq got traded to the Lakers in '96, and then that's when they drafted Kobe because they had Shaq already through the trade.
So Kobe and Shaq were there at the same time.
The whole point is to have Shaq play with the Penny Hardaway. The whole point is to have Shaq play
was
with the
playing-
Dwayne Wade. The whole point is to have Shaq play with the Kobe Bryant.
Okay, so you would have. So I'm saying though, basically you saying that you would have played with them guys.
Yeah.
Yes. And this was
That's
in,
all I'm saying.
Yeah,
You
this
would have
is in
played with Kobe
'97.
too. Right.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. You would have played with Kobe
No, he
too.
would have played with Kobe because Kobe was like he kind of rode the bench a little bit.
Well, he would have
Then
been right in the bench a little bit too. He was a
No, what I'm
rookie.
saying though, but he wouldn't have just played with them.
I was
too.
a free agent, like end of the bench free agent though. I would have came in like a Paul George, not Paul George, but the other guy. What's his name? George that played for the Lakers.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dude with them hazel eyes.
Devin George or
Devin
something
George.
like that or whatever. I would have
That's
been.
it.
I
You
wasn't
got it
coming
right.
in like, you know what I'm saying? Like I was, you
No,
know.
I'm saying though, you would have played.
But
with
I would've
just
been a
with
free
Shaq,
agent.
because Kobe didn't actually just play like that. He
No.
didn't come in as a starter.
No,
like
he
that.
didn't.
no,
he
he
did not.
That's
Dale
what I'm
Harris.
saying. So
Dale
you
Harris
would
didn't
have
like that.
basically played with just Shaq, Dale Harris, and them guys on the main court, and then Shaq. I mean, then you might would have played with Kobe, but at the same time, you wouldn't have played with just Shaq.
Him and Kobe in practice would have been on the same squad.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm talking about on the actual field, it'd have just been him and Shaq.
Well,
Yeah,
Shaq
if I
was
got
up.
in the game,
yeah, if
probably.
he got into the
Yes.
game, yeah. But
Yeah.
Kobe got into the game a little bit as a rookie.
Yeah, Kobe was getting. I mean, he was. You know,
Yeah, so
Kobe
at the
was
same
electric
time, you would have more
from
played
jump.
with probably Shaq than Kobe.
But all I'm saying is that, yeah.
But yeah, I would have
So
had
that-
my opportunity. So
Right.
anyway, I didn't. I had to. We got pulled over. I was in Seattle for the Doug Christie Summer League, and we got pulled over, and we were bumping. I was in the passenger seat, and we were in a candy brandy wine Jag with the peanut butter interior, with the blades on it, bumping. How you do that there? I'll never forget. And they got profiled, and we got pulled over, and then. Officer asked the driver had all this information was correct, and they asked me for my stuff in the passenger seat. I don't know that I have a blue warrant, and so I gave them my correct name. Of course, you know I don't know. You know I wouldn't know. I know hindsight, like oh you should give them a fake name. They wouldn't, you know. But that's because people tell me. But at that time I wasn't.
You'd have to pay for it at some point.
Yeah, at that time I wasn't thinking like that anyway. I was just like, oh yeah, here,
Yeah.
you know, what I mean, here's my passport is what I gave. And I gave him my name, and my passport. And so he comes back to the car and says, "Man, they have a blue warrant for your arrest. We got to take you down." I'm like, "Blue warrant for what? Well, I didn't do nothing. I didn't do anything. Were you on probation
What
violation or
is a
something?"
blue warrant?
That means they got to hold you until that other state comes to get you, and that other state has 90 days in which to come get you.
Oh, okay.
So you'll be sitting in a jail cell for 90 days until
Right,
that other
till
state.
they-
And the judge let me go because she said, Texas will wait till the 89th day. And she said, so I'm going to let you go on your own recognizance that you'll handle it.
Right.
And so I went to the Summer League game. I dropped like 34 points real quick, talked to my agent, told him about it. And so we were hoping that, you know, I'd go down there and handle it, fly down there,
Wow.
and they would let me back out on probation or whatever and be fine. That's the way they made it sound on the phone. But when I got down there, they locked me to a chair, and then I did not see daylight again for 25 months.
Oh,
Even my
Lord.
parents and everybody thought we were going back home.
Right.
Mm-hmm. They're just like, oh, we just hadn't seen her. We need to check in and all this stuff. Yeah, and that's how that went down.
That's part of that systemic racism kind of stuff.
Where is that at?
This is in Harris County, Texas.
Oh,
and I had
Texas
to
is not a good state for
I had to write the Lakers. I had to
African-American,
write
man.
Jerry West. I had to write an apology, and I had to say I'm sorry. You know, whoop the wop.
Yeah, but at that point, you know you're lost. You're done.
Oh,
You're done.
Done. History.
So 25 months later, I get out. That's when Rockets called my mama's house. I'm trying to tell people like I trained a lot, but like I was gifted. Like I could play. I could just play. You know what I'm saying? How many people get a shot at the NBA when they get out of prison? I did.
Okay.
See what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that, and and then my life changed again. So now I go to Houston and I take my mom with me for good measure. I'm like, man, I want that good luck. Come on, mama. They got to make it happen.
Yeah.
So I work out for Rudy Tomjanovich, Carol Dawson, Larry Smith, my boy Melvin Hunt was involved in the situation. He was the main guy, the video coordinator, but now assistant coach in the league. And Coach Tomjanovich liked me, and he said,
Rudy!
he said I'm interested. He said I want to bring him to camp.
He caught Dr. J and then got punched in the nose.
He says I want you to lose. He says I want you to lose 20 pounds before camp. And I said no problem, you got it. And so right then and there, I went into the training room. And I was icing down, and one of the WNBA players come in. This was my first marriage. One of the WNBA players comes in. She's a coach. She's a coach in college. She's at a university, a couple major universities. I'm not gonna put her business out there on the show. And asked, how you think you did? And so I was like, I don't think I did all right. And the other guy that was in there working out, that I worked out with us, he said, man, he was killing it. He was like, Coach Tomjanovich invited him. He just took over the camp. Coach Tomjanovich invited him to camp. And I was like, yeah. She's like, for real? I was like, yeah. He said, I just have to lose 20 pounds. And she's like, oh, she's like, man. And she's like, congratulations and stuff, right? And so that was that. And so that's when I met, I started seeing her, and that's when I met Coach John Lucas.
I see you with the picture.
Yeah. And that's when I met Coach Lucas. The Rockets had notified Coach Lucas, too, and she introduced me to Coach Lucas. And then Coach Lucas was like, I see you at, 6 o'clock? I see you at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. It's like, all right, I'll be here. You know what I'm saying? Right on time. And that's when, for 2 years, I worked out with that man twice a day. He was with me when I blew my knee out. And that's when the situation happened when my NBA career went down the drain. Right before training camp, I was finishing up with one of our workouts. And Coach Lucas would always work us out, good workouts. I would always work out with Nick Van Exel, Antonio McDyess, James Posey, Chris Birdman Anderson, Steve Jackson. You name it. There's a lot of guys that I would like that would come through, but I was always constantly, in the workout. But the guys that got millions that already got them contracts, or guys that are already kind of in there, they don't come as consistent. They come, but they're not every day like you, like the guy that's trying to get that first one. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and I landed on we were done with the workouts, and we were just playing some bullshit. We weren't even playing 2-on-2. We were just shooting around. Right. And I went up for a rebound by myself. Like off the, the rebound came, and you jump, you just, I just went up to snag it, just, the rebound came, like, just to get it, just to go shoot. You know what I mean? Right. When I went up in the air, I felt a pop and a burn. And I just came straight down to the ground, and I just grabbed my knee, and I was like, oh, God, no, please, God. Please, that was immediate words out of my mouth. Oh, God, no, please, God, because everything that I had been through. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Wow. Prison. Wow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With
college,
just the hustling, the college, and academic struggles, you know what I'm saying? This is where you really, you know what I'm saying? Like, everything that I've fucking been through, you know what I'm saying? Like, I met this beautiful girl that plays in the WNBA, and we had aspirations of being the first WNBA couple, married couple. You know what I'm saying? So, like...
You guys have any kids?
We didn't have any kids. So, all that went through my head as I hit the ground, like, oh, no, please, God. And I remember Coach Lucas running over there going, take your hand away. His country, take your hand away. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Take your hand. I was like, oh, no. I was like, I took my hand away and I looked at it. And they say I just went in the shock because my kneecap had rolled up. Like, the patella tendon had snapped in half. And so I just went in. They say I was looking up at the ceiling with my eyes real big, and I was just talking real fast.
Oh shit!
And then And the ambulance came, got me, and we went to the hospital. And Dr. Walter Lowe, he did Charles Barkley's surgery, Penny Hardaway's surgery, and a few other guys, and he was doing my surgery. And I said I was on the bed crying after the x-rays and stuff. Will I ever be able to play again? And he was like, you'll be able to play, but you won't be what you were. Got 5 minutes left. And and I said, I heard him say you'll be able to play. And he says, he basically says it depends on how hard you attack rehab. Dude, when it was my time to rehab, like this injury takes, you know what I'm saying, 16 to 24 months to come back from. Like to be back where you like confident where you were, jumping hard, all that. Came back in 9 months. I attacked rehab that hard. I was at Health South. I was rehabbing hard. Sometimes I was rehabbing with Penny Hardaway because he was having problems with his knee at the time. So sometimes we would work out together and go to lunch together afterwards and stuff. You know, but I was rehabbing hard. There's times running a lot with Sean Kemp, you know, trying to help him get his weight down, and we were running a lot. You know what I'm saying? Doing a lot of running on the track.
But he played for the Sonics?
Yeah.
How old were you?
No, when he played for the motherfucking Portland Trailblazers.
This is when he played for the Trailblazers in the Atlanta Magic.
If he had to get his weight down, it had to be for Portland.
Yeah. And so we were working out a lot. So I was in the life. You know what I'm saying? Still. And coming back. And then, the Rockets drafted a couple of young guys and said, at this time I was 29. So I was going to be one of those old rookies.
Well, back then they didn't have the technology to keep your body moving and keep it at a high performance. So back then, if you was hurt and shit like that for a couple of years, man,
I was going to be an old rookie.
Yeah.
You know, which was cool because I was like, I keep myself in good condition. I could squeeze out 10 years. I can get that pension. You know, I had thoughts like that going through my head by this time, but I didn't think like that when I was younger. When I was coming out of high school and stuff in college, I just wanted to play with the best. I never saw the economics of hoop. I never saw, like, when Xavier McDaniel would come and pick me up and stuff and take me to work out, you know, I never saw, like, his money. You know, I don't know if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but that's all it should have been about, economics.
Yeah, but I never saw that. I never thought about
so
economics.
when did you start playing basketball originally? What age were you?
So,
7. So at that age, you could not see the economic value unless someone talked to you.
Yeah, you know, my dad's coming out of school at 7th grade. He never went past 7th grade.
And if you think about it,
so he didn't know how to teach me economics.
Listen, you know Shaquille O'Neal? You know how his dad taught him about economics when it comes to sports? John Concack was his white boy that scored 3.2 points a game and 1.6 rebounds a game.
Shaq tell that to him.
Yeah. His dad took him and said, you see that boy right there? Yeah. You take your butt, get down into that center, stop acting like you're a guard, and start playing the center position because if you play the center, you can get paid like him. Mm-hmm. And that was just $6 million at that time. And of course, we know now Shaq was like $1 million motherfucking dollars.
Hey, well. Hey, you know, a great example is Tiger Woods. Yeah. His father taught him how to play golf at a young age.
We got 1 minute left. We got less than 1 minute left.
Shout out to Rainier Avenue Radio.
Shout out to Rainier Avenue Radio. Shout out to Mobility Tape Bay.
Love Smoke, baby.
We want to shout out to our producer Lucius. We want to
shout out to Lucius. Love Smoke, Lucius.
We want to shout out to our
growing
guest
his hair
today.
back. Love Smoke.
Yeah, OG Willie.
Yes, sir.
It's your boy Budmargins.
Mrgoodkush89, love smoke, baby.
And you know what I say every day, you know, get you some good ass weed, find you something to smoke that shit in and take a big ass hit every motherfucking day.
Mm-hmm. And do what, bud?
And at the end of the day, blow that shit the fuck out.
Love smoke, baby. Love smoke.
Slave minds tapped into the great.
Awesome job, you guys. Awesome job again, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, this time I also
thank you.
I blowed out smoke right as you said it, so.
Good. I didn't pick up on there.
I just got this new pipe too. It's kind of cool, I think.
Oh, that's tight. That's tight. I like that. Yeah, let me know, Lucius, if you need some more, anything, that's cool. I'll hook you up.
Oh, yeah. I'll probably buy some more,
You get you a coffee mug.
Huh?
I'll probably buy some more next week, actually.
Okay, yeah, let me know. We made cookies, caramels, all that shit.
Awesome, perfect.
Caramels were bomb.
I was gonna say, we also got a coffee